At least 2 people have been killed in a hotel collapse in Croft, Germany.
Hundreds of nationalities gather in the heart of Budapest as the 30th edition of Sziget Festival kicks off today.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer said that UK protesters will feel the full force of the law, following what he called widespread disorder during a high-level government meeting. 400 arrests and 100 charges have already been made.
We've got two-tier policing, Commissioner.
That should send a very powerful message to anybody involved, either directly or online, that you are likely to be dealt with within a week and that nobody should be involving themselves in this disorder.
Prior to this meeting, Elon Musk had posted on his social media platform X that civil war is inevitable in the UK, highlighting complaints by other X users that the British criminal justice system treats Muslims more leniently than far-right activists. Although Starmer avoided commenting directly on this, he said his focus was on ensuring that all communities are safe. In Southport, mourners gathered at St. Patrick's Church in remembrance of Alice da Silva Aguiar, a 9-year-old girl who was killed in last week's knife attack. Families and friends paid tribute to the little girl with a send-off of white balloons. The riots were sparked by the spread of misinformation about the identity of the suspect.
It is quite literally the food of champions, and organizers of the Paris Olympics are determined that it will not go to waste. Food that goes on eating at the Games by athletes, spectators and workers is helping those in need around the French capital, an effort to cut down on waste and contribute to sustainability.
Since the beginning, we've received about, for this warehouse here in Gennevilliers, we've received about 15 tons, and overall, with the other warehouse in Paris, about 30 tons.
Some of the bounty collected by the food bank was brought to a grocery store in Épinay-sur-Seine, a northern suburb of Paris that sells food at deeply discounted prices.
Oui, on profite parce que ça nous aide. Ça nous aide normalement. Nous, les gens qui n'ont pas beaucoup de salaire, on est d'aller acheter au magasin cher, on achète moins cher ici.
In addition to helping those in need, organizers say they hope the food donations will set an example for other Olympics to follow. 2 people have been killed in Croft, Germany, after a hotel building partially collapsed.
Leider müssen wir auch 2 Todesfälle, eine weibliche Person, eine männliche Person, beklagen.
14 people were in the hotel in the winemaking town on the Moselle River when one story of the building collapsed late on Tuesday night. 5 people were able to get out of the building unhurt, but another 9 were trapped.
Und da müssen wir jetzt behutsam vorgehen, weil die gesamte Gebäudestruktur gleicht einem Kartenhaus. Wenn man dort an der falschen Karte zieht, stürzt dieses Gebäude mit Sicherheit ein.
Emergency services said they were able to rescue 4 people from the rubble, including a 2-year-old child and the mother. Authorities have yet to disclose the cause of the collapse.
Two activists from the animal rights organization PETA interrupted the Pope audience, a weekly assembly held by Pope Francis. The duo were wearing t-shirts reading "Stop Blessing Corridas" and holding banners saying that bullfighting is a sin. PETA has been urging the Pope to cut the Catholic Church's ties with Spanish-style bullfighting and to condemn the sport. The Pope did not comment immediately after the disruption, and the audience continued as usual after the protesters were silently escorted out of the hall. In his address to the public, Pope Francis called for peace in the Middle East and urged for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza.
Ribadisco il mio appello a tutte le parti coinvolte affinché il conflitto non si allarghi e si cessi immediatamente il fuoco su tutti i fronti a partire da Gaza, dove la situazione umanitaria è gravissima, è insostenibile.
He also prayed for peace in other countries afflicted by war, including Ukraine, Myanmar, and Sudan.
Former President of Catalonia, Carles Puigdemont, has announced that he will return to Spain after avoiding charges for nearly 7 years.
La vuelta de Puigdemont, que huyó en 2017, ha desatado un terremoto político en un momento clave para la política catalana y española. El expresidente catalán, Carles Puigdemont, ha anunciado este miércoles, según sus palabras, que ha emprendido el viaje de retorno del exilio. El expresidente y fundador de Junts per Catalunya ha convocado un acto para que le acompañen este jueves hasta el Parlamento catalán. Allí se celebrará el pleno de investidura del socialista Salvador Illa, que ha logrado recabar los apoyos de Esquerra Republicana de Cataluña, el otro partido independentista de la Cámara.
Carles Puigdemont on X vowed to be present at Thursday's vote on the region's presidency. It is unclear how Puigdemont will enter the country without facing immediate arrest, but it is believed the separatist leader might try to enter illegally.
Bueno, habrá como siempre en el Parlamento, habrá gresca, habrá lío, pero la gente se olvidará, como suele ocurrir con estas cosas.
Tenía que rendir cuenta a la justicia, pero vamos, detenido como un delincuente, yo creo que no. Yo creo que no, vamos, tiene derecho a venir a su país.
Porque es un cobarde, un señor que nadie le mandó irse y que tanto que quiere la amnistía y todo, que se hubiera quedado en Cataluña y hubiera ayudado realmente a lo que quería.
Puigdemont has been avoiding charges of rebellion, sedition, and embezzlement. He fled Spain after authorities ordered his detention for organizing an illegal independence referendum in 2017.
The Austrian branch of the climate action group Last Generation announced that they are disbanding and ending their protests. Activists say that they aren't seeing any prospect for success and that the government is not responding to their requests.
Protestform war zu dem Zeitpunkt, zu dem wir uns dazu entschlossen haben, unbedingt notwendig. Also wir brauchten auch eine gewisse Alltagsdisruption. Und am Ende des Tages ist das Problem des Scheiterns ja eher das, dass sich nicht genug Menschen getraut haben, nicht den Mut hatten, gegen die Regierung jetzt wirklich friedlich aufzustehen und sich dagegen zu lehnen.
Last Generation had several tactics, but mostly relied on disruptive forms of action. One of the group's infamous acts includes blocking traffic by gluing themselves to busy roads and airport tarmacs. Communication experts say that this form of disruption does catch the public's attention, but is often short-lived and does not result in political change.
Ist besser so, meiner Meinung nach, weil sie nichts erreichen damit.
Warum?
Weil das auf einer hohen Ebene entschieden werden muss und nicht auf der Straße.
Finde ich nicht so gut, weil die Aufmerksamkeit der Klimaaktivisten schon dazu beigetragen hat, dass die Menschen sich ein bisschen Gedanken machen.
Activists of the group claim that this does not mean the resistance is over, but instead that it is time for new and different campaigns to form.
There are 4,000 Italians living in Lebanon, and our priority is to protect both them and our troops deployed to the country. We are ready for any event should the situation deteriorate. That's the message given on Tuesday by Italy's Foreign Secretary Antonio Tajani in a parliamentary briefing. The Italian government said Tajani is closely monitoring the situation while urging regional leaders, asking them for a de-escalation of tensions. Last Sunday, under the Italian presidency, the minister called a G7 meeting to discuss the ongoing crisis. The group of seven expressed their support for US President Joe Biden's plan and the need for a ceasefire in Gaza.
Poche volte si è arrivati a una situazione così tesa. Se pensiamo che questa mattina la Russia ha iniziato a consegnare delle armi all'Iran, a dimostrazione che c'è un fronte opposto al nostro. Ecco allora che il fronte occidentale, che punta ai valori del diritto internazionale, punta a tutelare gli aggrediti, punta a far diffondere i principi di pace e democrazia, ovvero il fronte occidentale, deve confidare nei suoi attori per fare in modo che eventualmente, se c'è qualcuno che è distratto da altro, possano essere altri gli attori che possono portare alla pace. E da questo punto di vista c'è tanta fiducia anche nel lavoro che il governo Meloni sta facendo a livello nazionale, a livello europeo, a livello internazionale.
Meanwhile, opposition parties have attacked Israel and the Italian government for failing to recognize the Palestinian state.
E sappiate che riteniamo questo governo italiano codardo, perché per 3 volte aveva la possibilità di pronunciarsi per il riconoscimento dello Stato palestinese, per interrompere il cessate il fuoco di questa azione militare, non l'ha fatto in sede di Assemblea delle Nazioni Unite. Il governo italiano, il governo degli Stati Uniti e tutti quelli sono complici che sin qui hanno dimostrato codardia.
Recent developments both in Lebanon and in Iran seem to have stalled the ceasefire talks, which are crucial to easing tensions. Neither Israel nor Iran is looking for an all-out war, although they seem unlikely to listen to calls for restraint. Giorgio Orlandi for Euronews in Rome.
Hamas says it has chosen Yahya Sinwar, its top official in Gaza, as its new political leader. The move follows previous leader Ismail Haniyeh's assassination in Tehran on the 31st of July, the Palestinian group said on Tuesday. 61-year-old Sinwar is seen by Israel as the mastermind behind the October 7th attack, in which more than 1,100 people were killed and over 200 taken captive. He has been in deep hiding since then. Reacting to the appointment, Israel military spokesman Daniel Hagari told Saudi television that Sinwar's place is next to Hamas commanders Israel already claims to have killed. Yahya Sinwar is an arch-terrorist responsible for one of the most horrible terror acts in history, Hagari said, referring to the 7th of October attack on Israel.